On to the 8th on the programme, and race number 8, Class 4 here over the 1,200 metres, headed by Intrepid, who dips into Class 4 for the first time. He's first up here. Moneymore beat 1 first up behind Regency Darling. Alcazar is first up since January. Superstar and Winning Circle both make their debuts. Gowton of Garrow, Alpha Hedge and Hong Kong's Folks are all still maidens. Hong Kong's Folks first up here from barrier 13. Do they press on from there?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I don't think either of the newcomers are overly blessed with a lot of natural pace. Hong Kong Folks could end up in front. It's worth reading the description in this speed map on the website because it does say there's a lot of variables here, and I tend to agree. That's how they've mapped it. It may not turn out that way. Looking Good may roll on. Intrepid might try and find the lead. Stack of money for Moneymore late in betting last start too. He's been a horse that's shown some pace. This was probably the trickiest map of the day, I thought.
Here's Alcazar. He's changed stables. He's now with John Moore. We saw a horse in similar colours. The Creative run really well at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. With first start for John Moore, and this one's going nicely as well. I like this piece of work from Superstar. He's a first starter. And he's going really nicely. Kaki's come out and run very well, so he's quite forward. He's only 1,024 pounds, so quite a light horse for a Millard horse, but he goes really nicely. And here's the other first starter, Winning Circle. Blinkers go on him. He's a bigger horse, 11.45, and I think he might need to improve a little bit on what I've seen so far. So of the two first starters, the 7's definitely the better one.
All right, OK. Well, let's start off here with Looking Good, who has had a run this season. We're going towards the end of June, though, from last season, where he finished 4th over the 1,400 metres.
Yeah, but this is last season's form. I actually didn't like his trial leading into his debut performance, and he actually ran a very similar race to what his trial suggested he might. So whether he strips fitter and comes on for the run, I would presume he will do so, but I still don't think he's quite in the form that he was in his first prep, so he can deal me out.
Yeah, I haven't got him in either. Barrier 11 was a worry for me.
All right, so a concern there possibly for Looking Good as far as the draw is concerned. What about Gowton of Garrow finishing 5th here? This is on the all-weather behind Just Not Listening. Flying Noble in this race as well, finishes up strongly.
Yeah, I've got both Flying Noble and Gowton of Garrow in the numbers, actually. I thought with Gowton of Garrow, he did run well at Happy Valley before. His last couple of runs have been pretty good on the all-weather as well. So he did run up to 1650 on the all-weather, so he's a little bit versatile. I wonder if 1,400 is probably his best distance, but 1,200 here, I think he can run all right. I
thought he was going to win that race in the run, Gowton of Garrow, and Flying Noble did run past him there, but I get the feeling he might be better down in class.
All right, OK. Intrepid drops into this class for the first time. This is his trial coming in. He looked pretty good. One
thing Brett said was it looks like a messy speed map. Whatever happens from barrier 3, Intrepid can just sit behind whatever unfolds in front of him. He's really well rated at the moment. He's 1 off 64 up in Class 3. He's in Class 4 for the first time. The stable's going very well. He looks tough to beat for me.
I first looked at the race and I wanted to tip him, but that trial wasn't that attractive to me, so...
Dirt, though.
Yeah, I know, you're right. It's worth mentioning, too, that he is a horse that won a race, you know, which had a couple of horses that were pretty handy running sort of 4th, one in particular.
This is one of the first starters then, Superstar, and Alcazar drops out very tamely down there on the rail.
Yeah, I left Alcazar out, but I've got Superstar definitely in the numbers. I think he's the one to beat. Superstar, he's 1,024. He was Armin Lee last season. Tony Millard's got him now. He's and his work's been good, so I think he's going to run a good race.
Yep, I've got him in as well. I just like the way he moves. It's a nice, fluent action. I get the feeling he may be better over a fraction further, but he will get into the tips.
All right, single-figure price, but Intrepid the favourite, Paul.
Yeah, and he's on top for me. I'm going to make him the best because I just think he's going really well. And 4.3, I'm not worried about that trial. Superstar in for second's the hardest to beat, and then Gowton of Garrow and Flying Noble. So 1, 7, 10 and 12, but I think the 1 will win.
I think it's a tricky little race. I'm going to go with Flying Lover. Potentially, I think he could spring to the front. We saw the speed map. It could be a variable situation in that respect. So him to maybe lead all the way or at least be handy to the pace, Flying Lover, and give a good sight. I think he will get out to an each-way price. Gowton of Garrow, I thought he was going to win last start, but he just needed the run, I get the feeling. Intrepid, when he did win his only race, Victory ran 4th, so that highlights his capabilities. Superstar is a nice young debutant who might need a fraction further, but if they zip along, he could swamp them late. 4-10-1-7.
Yeah, I got the same 4 numbers, Brett, slightly different order, 1 and 4 the cue, but we're all working around the same sort of theory there. That was race number 8. On to race number 9 then. That's up next. We're back on the all-weather for the second last.